timer here.
Let me see. Aole, Mala, Kahiki, Ho. That's Hawaiian for Happy New Year. I practiced that for 3 days. Thank you, thank you. It's a new year. Yay. And actually every moment, you know that is a new year. And we make something up that January 1st and somebody made up the calendar and who cares? I mean, truly, every moment. Because people will say, well, I'm going to do this differently in 2023. And then it comes June, it's like, I didn't do it. The thing is, that's the beginning of your new year. That's fine, right? So, would it be all right as we go through this new year if life got easier? Oh, thank you for not having me, forcing me to say, do it again. I believe you. I believe you. You know, and would it be all right if everything in your life was going well? No response. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. And would it be all right if you felt happy about everything going on around you? Still no answer. Okay. So if you answered no in your mind to any of those questions, then this lesson this morning isn't for you. Okay? So just close your ears. Yeah, because I believe that all things are possible. They truly are. And having that knowing makes life so much easier. Because even when things don't seem to be in alignment with what I want to do, I know that I can change it in a moment. That is all up to me. Do you realize that? That everything in your life you have control over. I mean, your response to it. True, I mean, things are going to happen. Like this morning, I did not cause the police to block off the interstates coming down here and where I was getting on. But I had the choice of how I responded to it. And luckily I knew how to do surface streets. So, there is a popular psychiatrist of the 20th century, and looking around, I think you all heard of her. Dr. Joyce Brothers, remember her? Yes. And she said an individual's self-concept is the core of his personality. It affects every aspect of human behavior, the ability to learn, the capacity to grow and change, the choice of friends, mates, and careers. It's no exaggeration to say that a strong, positive self-image is the best possible preparation for success in life. You know, and you know, we've been around. We really have. And the fact that you are sitting here in a Unity church says that you've done a lot of inner work. Because New Thought is not for sissies. But you know, when you take responsibility for your life and realize that I can do this, I got this. And one of Unity's great authors, Eric Butterworth, wrote, "It could be said that the mere worship of God is hypocritical unless it leads to a deeper sense of personal worthship." Worthship. Now, some people can develop this on their own. And what a blessing. Especially because there's so many outer circumstances and impressions being made upon us. It's easy to think less of ourselves. I remember watching an interview about 20 years ago of a sitcom comedian and talk show host by the name of Carolyn Ray. And she said that ever since she was a little girl, she knew she would be a successful comedian. She just knew it. She wrote affirmations and pasted them all over her room and kept the image alive, regardless of what other people were saying to her. She had that inner knowing, and she would not let anyone else dampen her vision and her passion. And she was fortunate to be able to develop this image so early in life and hold on to it. I tell you, when I was a kid, I didn't have a clue what I wanted to be. I just kind of went with the flow. But to have that determination and to know about these tools. So if it's difficult for you, I mean, what if it is difficult to create this new self-image? Because I don't know about you, but I went through a few dark nights of the soul. Yeah, so what do? How do you overcome that? How do you get to the point of, I have this knowing and self-assurance that it's all going to be perfect? Sometimes you need a little extra help. Adolph Rupp, a coach of the Kentucky Wildcats years ago, he once boasted at a news conference that he could take any young man and make an All-American basketball player out of him. And there was a reporter who challenged him. He said, "No, you can't. Show me." And he decided to take on the challenge. And he had a blonde-haired, blue-eyed freshman basketball player of somewhat average ability named Cotton Nash. And Rupp as he accepted the newsman's challenge, he started at every news conference, he would refer to Nash as my All-American center, Cotton Nash. At every opportunity, he said, my All-American center. Now, would you be surprised to hear that Cotton Nash was named All-American center? And not just once, but several times. Because he had a coach that believed in him and knew that you can draw that forth from anyone when you show confidence. And there's a mental institution where in one of the wards, I think you might have heard this story, they had the patients say this affirmation every day, continuously. And it was, every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. And you know what happened? The people in that ward were significantly healthier, mentally healthier, than in any of the other wards. And they were the ones who were going to be discharged sooner. Just having that little bit of affirmation for yourself. Now, the bottom line is what you believe about yourself is more important than your IQ, your education, your socioeconomic background, your race, religion. It's what you think of yourself. And don't you love being around the people who feel good about themselves? I'm not talking about the narcissistic, look at me, who can only feel good about themselves if someone else is admiring them. But those that just have that inner confidence. I know I like to be around them. It's like, can I have a little piece of that? Can I eat just a little bit of you? Yes, someone once defined success as the realization of the estimate you place upon yourself. Realization of the estimate you place upon yourself. I was thinking, actually, we're all very successful then, aren't we? Because if you place a poor estimate on yourself, you're going to live down to that. And if you place a high estimate of yourself, you're going to live up to it. You're going to be successful either way. So you can start from that base. Even if you hate yourself, hey, look at me, I'm successful. So have you ever experienced a situation where you were labeled by someone else or by an institution? And there was nothing you could do to change that label, the other's expectation of you, because it was a reality that others and perhaps yourself chose to accept. You know, when I was coming up through high school, I don't know what it was like for you, we were tracked. There was the college track, and then there was the technical, or, you know, the home ec, the secretarial sciences, the shop, vocational, yes. And somebody decided that that's how you should be, whether you liked it or not. I ended up straddling both, because first I was tracked college entrance, and then I was told, I was by the school, then my parents tracked me vocational, because they said, well, we can only send you to 2 years college, so you're going to study secretarial science. And then I switched tracks again in 12th grade, because we found out about student loans. So I was able to go to a 4-year school. I think we were all born for greatness, and the only thing that holds us back is our ability, our understanding that we have control. We have absolute control. You know, it's how we respond to, how we accept what other people say. You know, and how could you be otherwise when the Bible tells you in Genesis that you are created in the image and likeness of God? How can I be anything less than great if that's the truth? How could you be otherwise when Jesus says, the one who believes in me also, the one who believes in me will also do the works that I do, and in fact will do greater works than these. Can you imagine doing greater works than Jesus did? That just amazes me. I've been, you know, offered this gift. The thing is, you know, it's like, but first you have to do your work. And that's not always easy, is it? And, you know, Jesus said it's God's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. And of course, kingdom is the wealth and abundance of the universe. It is there for you to claim. I love that. Yeah, greatness is your birthright. It just is. You know, my license plate is GR8NS, which stands for greatness. And I had a special license plate holder made, and it says, embrace your, and then greatness. Because that's what I believe about you. Now, many Christian denominations, true, you know, they teach you about sin, and they teach you about how evil, you know, the original sin, you know, that little, sweet little baby is born in sin. No. But that's part of the programming in many religions. So we have the opportunity in New Thought to break that mold. Which is why some people, when they find out that you're unity, they're like, But I was reading a few years ago that the FDA had approved giving children Prozac. Can you imagine that? Giving a kid Prozac, and what about giving them opportunities to learn about their self-worth, to learn how magnificent they are, to have groups where they come together and they celebrate each other. A lot cheaper than Prozac, what do you think? And it makes better human beings. The thing is, we want to avoid pain very often. And has anybody made it to January 8th, 2023 without pain in your life? Anyone? No dark nights of the soul? And yet when you come out the other end, do you feel better about all that you've accomplished? You got through it. And you raised your vibration. In his book, Dare to Be Yourself, Alan Cohen says he often prays to be wrong. You like that? He prays to be wrong. He suggests using the following prayer for any situation about which you are unhappy, whether it's career, health, relationships, finances, anything in which you feel powerless, unloved, or unfairly treated. And especially in those areas where you perceive yourself as the victim or the loser. His prayer, God, please let me be wrong about all of this. Isn't that wonderful when you start feeling bad about yourself, or my goodness, there's nothing I can do. The world's going to hell in a handbasket. And God, please let me be wrong about all this. And in truth, we are wrong if we see ourselves as anything less than the magnificent beings that God created you to be. When you see yourself as a victim, as unlovable, as powerless, then you are seeing a lie. See, the truth is, you're amazing. Okay, so, let me see. We're doing good here. Author Thomas Carlyle said, every day that is born into the world comes like a burst of music and rings the whole day through. And you make of it a dance, a dirge, or a life march, as you will. Is that beautiful? I mean, every day is born, it's a burst of music and rings the whole day through. And what do you choose to make of it? It's all your decision. You are so powerful. I love it. And no one, and I mean no one, can decide your life for you. And you still got a lot of kick left in you. You know that. Yes, others can do certain things to you, create situations that are unpleasant, but you're the one who has the power. You can go along with it, or you can say, no, that's wrong. I'm not going to live a lie. So, what's wonderful is a lot of times we limit ourselves because the greatest doubter, very often, is what the Buddhists call monkey mind. Those limiting thoughts. It's, who do you think you are too? I've got some of that going on in my head right now. Because I've got plans for this world, this year. I have good plans. And one of them is, one of that big frog that I have to just take a big just gobble it down. And once I do that, everything's going to fall into place. But it's what I believe can happen. I believe that when Jesus was being tempted during the 40 days in the desert, the Satan he dealt with wasn't a physical entity. And I know in traditional Christianity it was. But instead, the Satan that you and I deal with, what Jesus was dealing with, are all the experiences and times of your lives when you had doubts and fears. That's why when Jesus said, get behind me, Satan, it wasn't a physical identity he was talking to. It was, get behind me, monkey mind. Get behind me, error thought. Get behind me, fear and doubt and separation from God. As Jesus fulfilled his ministry, he was able to perform miracles and guide us to the truth. Because he had denied the power of Satan over him and called upon his and our true source, God, the good, omnipotent. Jesus expected love. He expected good. He expected the abundance of God. So as we begin the year 2023, to me that's a strange number. 23 is a strange number. I don't know why. And I thought, you know what? I bet this is a strange number because strangely wonderful things are going to happen for us. So I invite you to remember that all things are possible. That life can be easy for you. That everything in your life will go well and that you can be happy and feel good about yourself. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. It all depends on what you choose to believe and what you choose to expect. So for me, this year I expect all the good and loving and abundant experiences that are possible. I expect miracles. What do you expect? Let's take a few moments now and go into meditation and set our expectations for the new year. I invite you to close your outer eyes so that your inner eye might more clearly see the truth of who you are. And breathing deeply, always the breathing in the light and the love that is God. And as you exhale, exhale any distress you might be experiencing in your emotions or your thoughts. And continuing to breathe in deeply the healing light and love of God, filling every cell and tissue of your body. Upon your exhale, release any dis-ease or distress you might be experiencing in your body. And then continuing to breathe deeply. Remembering that in the biblical story, God breathed life into Adam's nostrils. Imagine yourself breathing God every moment. What a blessing. Because you are richly, truly blessed. And as we enter into this new year, 2023, I invite you to bring to mind all that you hope for, all that you affirm for, all that you image for your life in 2023. Bring it to mind now. And as you bring forward that amazing image of yourself, living your 2023 life of power and purpose, light and love, vibrant health, if any doubt comes up in your mind, oh, I can't do it, who am I to think I could? Bring forth a prayer. Dear God, prove me wrong in my doubts. Prove me wrong in my fears. Dear God, prove me right to believe I can do these marvelous things. This is your life. You have named it. Now, collectively, we claim it for each one in this community. And I invite you, as you go forward into the world outside of these sanctuary walls, that you proclaim your vision to the world. You proclaim your vision to God in every moment. And not only invite, but demand all the resources that God has to bring to you, to rush to you. And know that as you name and claim and proclaim your own good, you are demonstrating to the world what the power of your new thought is bringing. How you are raising the vibration of the world. How you are blessing everyone with whom you come in contact, and even beyond, people you've never met. You are a blessing. You are blessed. And so it is. Amen.